So every app has its own personality, its own character. And the best apps make it very clear what their personality is. They're intentional about their personality and how they convey it. And so today I want to talk about some of the ways that an app can convey its personality. The first is typography, the font that an app uses. Now, we don't often think about this as personality, but when you think about it, there are definitely serious fonts. Those that are like Times New Roman is very serious, kind of buttoned up font. And then there are playful fonts. And so choosing a font based on the character that you want to convey is really important because typography and the fonts that you choose are going to be present on pretty much every page of your app. And so you want to choose something that falls in line with the character that you're trying to portray for your app. The second thing is iconography, the icons in your app. Again, something that we don't necessarily think of as obvious, but is definitely really important in terms of shaping how we think about a particular app. The heart icon, for example, whether it's on Twitter or Instagram, is much different from the thumbs up icon on Facebook, even though they both mean the same thing. They're all likes, but the way that that's conveyed is much different between the apps, and as a result, helps shape the character of those particular apps. The third thing is language. So every app has its own language. I just talked about, kind of one piece of language, which is the like. Obviously, friend feed was the first one who kind of came up with the like. Then Facebook kind of took that, and now pretty much every app has some variation of a like. But there are other things. For example, a snap. A snap is its own. That's the language of the app. You send a snap. A tweet. All of these things are really important in terms of how you actually think about the app. The idea of stories, calling that a story makes it much, more appealing to the masses than just calling it like a slideshow. Even though in effect it's the same thing. You could have called it slides, but it wouldn't have the same impact as calling it stories. And so the language you use within your app is really important, again, in helping shape the character, the style, the personality of the app. The final thing is animations. This one probably maybe a bit more obvious. We see animations all the time. One of my favorites is the Twitter heart animation when you like a particular tweet, that kind of pop-up of the like. Really love that. Obviously on Instagram we're all familiar with the double tap and the animation on that of the heart on the photo itself. But there are tons of animations on Snap. I think Snap does a really good job with animations and transitions. They have their little ghost, if you guys are familiar with Snap, when you refresh a certain page, whether it's on your messages or on stories, the ghost kind of peeks through and then pops up and hops away. Yelp, another one, has a great animation that I love. Their searching animation has a rocket ship that's kind of like boosting up in the air. All of these little things add character, add flavor, add personality to the app, and it doesn't necessarily obviously add functionality. It's not something additional that you can do. It's something that just delights the user. It's something that gives the user an extra second of joy. Hey, I didn't know that that would happen, and to enrich the experience through these subtle things, I think over time really pays dividends, because your users start to really connect with the personality of the app. They start loving the character of the app itself, and I think that's really, really helpful for the long run. So anybody working on an app out there, I think it's really important to start thinking of, what's the personality of my app? What's the character of my app? If my app were a person, how would they behave? And then start kind of incorporating those behaviors, those characteristics through those things I just mentioned: typography, iconography, language, and animations. So what did I work on this week? The first thing is landing video. So what I want to do is have, when a user first downloads the app from the App Store, opens up the app, rather than just having kind of a static page where you can choose to sign up or log in, and it's just like a background or the icon of the app, have a video playing. Show people what the app is all about before they even sign up. It's a little touch, but again, kind of adds to the personality of the app, and immediately gives the user, even before they're a user, a sense of what's to come. Second thing, kind of similar along those lines, is once a user signs up, having a tutorial video, rather than having kind of tips that pop up that are kind of in the background. Just have a video, given that Outspoken is all about expressing ourselves and through video form. Why not have the tutorial be a video in and of itself? Show users what the app is all about, or rather tell them what the app is all about through a video. The final thing is I chose the most of the icons. I'll talk about ones I still need to work on, but most of the icons of the app, like I said, this really plays a role in shaping the personality, the character of the app. And so chose most of the icons, obviously, for the toolbar, for the reply button. Most of the icons are in place, and I'm sure over time, as we add more features, more will come up that we'll need to build icons for. So what am I going to work on next week? For one, the Rubies icon. It's the most important icon in the app. It's the one thing that's really unique to this app. Obviously, we have a home like most other apps, a search, an add new post. But the Rubies icon is really unique to Outspoken, and so I want to make sure it's unique, it's immediately recognizable, and really conveys the character and personality that I want to express in the app. Second thing, again related to the personality, is kind of finalizing the in-app language. We already have things like sharing a clip rather than a video or a post. It's a clip. Rubies obviously is one part of the in-app language, but thinking through all of the different terms that are used in the app, and making sure they're aligned with the personality and character that I want to convey. Finally, as always, a wild card, so I'll fill you guys in on that next week. As always, let me know your thoughts, like, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys next week.